Welcome back to Pride Reviews, folks. Finding good queer media is hard. Sometimes you're looking for a good fantasy show that happens to star a lesbian lead. Other times, you're looking for high drama featuring gay romance or a sitcom with trans representation. We know it's hard to fight with streaming services' slim LGBTQ categories, and more difficult to disseminate what exactly is LGBTQ about them from brief descriptors. It's even more challenging to remain unspoiled if you want to know what you're getting into before you dive in. But first, if you're new to our channel, make sure to hit subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest contents.
Do you have a pesky ghost haunting you? Has a demon stolen your core memories? You may want to ring the Dead Boy detectives. In this new supernatural series set in the Sandman universe, two teenagers find each other in death, and they will do anything to stick together, including escaping evil witches, hell, and death herself. With the help of a clairvoyant named Crystal, Cassius Nelson, they must work together to crack some of the mortal realm's most mystifying paranormal cases. Few shows are as emotionally affecting or as funny as Netflix's dark romantic comedy Feel Good. Co-created by Mae Martin and Joe Hampson, the semi-autobiographical show depicts the relationship between a fictionalized version of Mae, a comedian and recovering addict, and George, a schoolteacher who's previously only ever dated men. The series' excellent first season details the couple's meet-cute and subsequent romance, and it only gets better in season 2. With just 12 short episodes, Feel Good wastes no minute of its runtime as it tells a beautiful story about love and identity while digging into deeply complex issues related to trauma, addiction, recovery, and sexuality. Although it can be heartbreaking to watch Mae slowly and reluctantly peel back the layers of their pain, the show has no shortage of laughs. It's both subtle and not, never shying away from depictions of queer love or the long-lasting effects of trauma. The result is a show so good you almost can't believe it exists, let alone that we were blessed with 2 seasons of it. One word, 2 women, way hot. Earpers rejoice. Beloved Western romp Wynonna Earp is as horror-filled as it is feminist, with curses, swords, and so much creative swearing that you'd and your own to have a vocabulary as vibrant. Vampires, demons, and the scariest thing of all, childbirth. Augment this delightfully queer story of a woman, Melanie Scrofano, that blasts her way through every supernatural creature blastable. If you want Deadwood by way of The Walking Dead, aka The Walking Deadwood, this is your female-fronted way in. And did I mention it's funny? Oh, it's very funny. Isabel Gomez has received acclaim for her portrayal of Elena, who comes out as a lesbian in the first season. The Netflix's multicam sitcom has become the leading engine of the forum's revival. Covering everything from LGBTQ rights and immigration to dating and depression, the series is anchored by the 2 extraordinary women at its center, Rita Moreno and Justina Machado, whose chemistry as mother and daughter find fullest expression in 2 wrenching late-season entries. Watching the 13 episodes, treasuring each one, I would relish how each precious half-hour was simultaneously timeless and cutting-edge. I would reflect on how it made Cuban culture at once unique and intimately relatable. Instead, I devoured it. The series is so excellent and so compulsively watchable I couldn't help myself. It's like a paraphrase of that old commercial for Lay's potato chips. Betcha you can't watch just one. Nefessa Williams, who plays Anissa Pierce, has said her goal is for Black women as lesbians to see themselves on television. She's done exactly that with her standout performance. Greg Berlanti's Arrowverse was an undeniable success for the CW and for the DC Universe on screen. But it did not, historically, have a great deal to say about the deeply rooted prejudices of the real world that have conspired to create the violence and terror that shape places like the Glades in Green Arrow's Star City, or that are mirrored in the bigotry metahumans face by normal society. Salim Akil and Mara Brock Akil's addition to the fold, Black Lightning, takes that challenge head-on, positioning endemic racism and systemic inequity as the central evils a real superhero would find himself up against. It then uses those injustices and the tensions they cause within not just communities but individual families to tell a compelling, heady story about what it means to do what is right in a world that resembles our own more than any superhero story to date. Sex Education holds up as a diverse portrayal of teen sexuality. There are many queer characters in the show, in particular Otis's gay best friend Eric, pansexual love interest Ola, and bisexual former bully Adam. That's only a small fraction of the queer cast. Netflix's Sex Education is a decidedly raunchy and thoroughly adorable coming-of-age dramedy. While it's not exactly afraid of well-worn tropes, it also doesn't rely on them to a detrimental degree, and it has Gillian Anderson as a sex therapist, which would be enough for a lot of us even if nothing else about the show worked. Luckily, that isn't the case, a testament to the power of character development. The series is riveting. None of its superbly crafted characters waste a single frame. Special is perhaps the only show to feature a gay disabled lead. In terms of visibility, those living with disabilities are among the least seen on modern television. Even more invisible are the disabled living with further marginalized identities. Special, a Netflix original comedy created and starring Ryan O'Connell based on his memoir I'm Special, and Other Lies We Tell Ourselves, concerns a young gay man, Ryan Hayes, living with mild cerebral palsy. His condition is noticeable enough to brand him different from mainstream society, but not severe enough that he's barred entry from certain opportunities, such as an internship for brilliant, millennial lolsy satire site Eggwoke. After growing sick of being told he's special for his disability his whole life, he deals with voyeuristic exploitation in the world of clickbait journalism. He's harangued for confessional essays by his self-obsessed boss Olivia and navigates a budding friendship with his aggressively body-positive coworker Kim. Though rough around the edges, Special is a one-of-a-kind comedy with edgy, honest humor. Tales of the City is all about queer life in San Francisco. The original series made history with its portrayal of on-screen gay romance, and this sequel starring Elliot Page is no different. Netflix's adaptation of Armistead Maupin's series is a riff that takes its own mysterious direction, but it honors the book's characters, particularly linchpin landlady Anna Madrigal and uptight greenhorn Mary and Singleton. For an update bent on respecting and reflecting contemporary social cues, the vibe is strangely nostalgic, and that's not a criticism. It works. The series' strengths include super solid acting all around. There's great chemistry in some scenes, as well as a deeply felt and interestingly articulated crisis for a young couple trying to stay together in the aftermath of one partner's transition to male. It has a genuinely inclusive and celebratory character as a lovingly composed panoramic photograph of SF queer culture. And it's a more than decent evocation of the thing about San Francisco. It's still unbelievable gravitational pull for people who, in whatever ways, don't conform. Heartstopper Season 2 ended on a cliffhanger as Charlie, Joe Locke, prepared to send Nick, Kit Connor, a message proclaiming his love to him before the show heartlessly cut to black, leaving audiences without an idea as to whether it was sent or not. Throughout the season, the couple had a few issues with being able to say those three little words to one another. But seeing as Nick publicly came out, it would make sense for this to be an easy feat. Of course, it's a lot more complicated than that. While the show has generally followed the same events as the comic of the same name, there's no guarantee that Heartstopper Season 3 will replicate it word for word. However, it has been revealed that the first episode of Season 3 will be entitled Love, and writer Alice Oseman has commented that readers of the record-breaking Heartstopper graphic novels will know what will happen next. Netflix's Swedish drama Young Royals focuses on teenage prince Will, Edvin Writing, who while attending boarding school, has to balance the pressure of being second in line for the Swedish throne, as well as his growing feelings for classmate Simon, Omar Rudberg. The Season 2 finale sees Simon admit his love for Will, but even more dramatically, Will makes a speech to the nation announcing that the sex tape that had been leaked in Season 1 was of him and Simon. Not only did this mean that he'd admitted to lying to the public, having previously denied it was him in the video at the orders of the Queen, but he also came out to the entire country. Season 3 will be the final installment of Young Royals, and with such a dramatic ending to Season 2, it'll be interesting to see the reaction of the public and the royal family to Will's confession.
If you want more videos like this, then check out these 2 videos, or you can check the description links and don't forget to subscribe Pride Reviews for more new weekly updates.